Alright, we're back. Hey guys, welcome back, and we are actually going to get our next game really fast, so it's going to be between Asians with Attitude and what is the other team, sorry?
It is, oh my gosh, I know this. There's always, I can't, now you put me on the spot. You put me on the spot.
There's a chance. There's a chance. There's a
That's
chance
what
we
it
know
is.
this.
Right, and it is actually the University of Ottawa team, I think, for Here's the Dorm. I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, let me make sure I get these teams all set up. If you want to start announcing, the left side there is going to be Asians with Attitude.
Sure, I will do Agents with Attitude, and it is going to be FZ Ignition on Kael'thas, Fat Meat on Johanna, Saber on Li Ming, Lucky Swan on Raynor, and Half and Half on Uther. So we get to see that Saber Li Ming game again with those Li portraits.
Oh god, Lili, the best support in the game. I love those portraits. And Thrall just trying to go in the opposite direction, apparently. But we have Inverum, my buddy, the one of the really good casters here out in this scene, playing Malfurion. Bababooey playing ETC, which is such a fun name to say. Bubblegum on Jaina, Noel on Thrall, and Mir on Tassadar. And we're just about to start up. We're just waiting for everybody to load up into the game.
Yeah, so we didn't see this draft, so I guess while we're doing that, we can talk about a little bit Malfurion, something that we haven't seen. Inverum on Malfurion, maybe he's about to change all of our minds.
Yeah, I know, we haven't seen much Malfurion here, but yeah, Malfurion, definitely he was buffed, you know, in the previous patch. You know, he does do quite a bit of healing, and yeah, he can sustain a lot better, though his ultimate isn't as great. So yeah, we have Uther, Raynor, Li Ming, Johanna, and Kael'thas, so really depending on those mages for their damage, but also having that Raynor for the sustained damage.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side, though, we have Thrall, Jaina, Malfurion, ETC, and Tassadar. So the solo, so Malfurion plus Tassadar, we have seen that in the past on this tournament work out fine, because even though the healing over time takes a little bit, the Tassadar shield can sustain it until that heal goes off.
Right. And AFK fish drowned. The force wall always, you know, fight changing. This will be an interesting game. Lots of range damage there for AWA.
Yeah, for sure. Once again, we don't have that much range damage, but on this map, it's not that important to poke off the tribute here. Definitely, ETC is going to be a really strong hero to engage, and they have Johanna and Raynor and Kael'thas to counter him, so he's going to be looking to mosh those people and making sure so it doesn't get interrupted. But right now, we're just kind of having a mid squabble.
A good old mid squabble. We see those entangling roots go down.
And it does look like it's seeing, right now they're just, you know, when teams start off on this map right here, Tomb of the Spider Queen, which like you said, you've been wanting to see this match, it's just seeing who can out-rotate each other. And so you do see, you know, the little things here that are making it where Asians with Attitude are able to out-rotate. Like whenever the W comes out from Uther, it actually heals, you know, the creeps as well. So it's, you know, they're slightly ahead on the rotations.
Yeah, we see them move. We're going to see them go back up top. And just like this counter, what'll be top and mid the whole time. Where bottom lane will just be forced to fend for itself. We see Saber actually about half health against Noel down here at the bot lane. Bottom lane looks like Thrall has a little bit of the advantage there.
Yeah, you know, you have to see, though, at this point in the game, you know, a lot of people, when they watch this, if you're starting to fall behind a little bit on the rotations, you kind of have to think about doing something a little bit different, because then you're always going to fall behind on the experience, and you might end up losing experience. So they either need to maybe try to stagger the lanes a little bit, or perhaps look to do like a really sneaky gank on bottom while they're doing things, because they're just going to keep losing the rotations if they keep following this path.
Yeah, I mean, they're about even on XP though, so it seems like it made and they're just counter rotating together.
Yeah.
We go fight top, we go fight bottom. Fat Meat getting in the back line a little bit. We see Bababooey slide in, try to throw back FZ Ignition, and he's going to take a lot of damage. It is going to go down. Bubblegum there, just doing a lot of damage,
Yeah,
and also standing in the
That's the
Beesh.
power of ETC right there, just making sure to get the lockdown going on. And of course, Malfurion following that up with the entangling roots, and just absolutely nothing Kel'Thas could do there except toss a few auto attacks and abilities out. And both teams getting level 4 around the same time.
Baba Booey trying to maybe stop Johanna, but not able. She's just so able to get away with that invulnerable.
And we do have we have Kel'Thas taking another win for his level 4 talent. We have Johanna taking Laws of Hope. Focus attack going on Raynor. And we don't know what the other 2 talents are here, but we do. But I'm sure they'll be picked relatively soon.
Yeah, let's see. Dominance being taken by Leeming.
And
on the
protective shield for Uther.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's pretty standard, just able to have that little bit of more protection on Uther. I like taking that skill as well. I think it's pretty standard. On the other side, we're going to see a Loon's Grace for Malf, Double Neck Guitar on ETC, Arcane Intellect for Jaina, Ride That Lightning for Thrall, and Mental Acuity for Tassadar.
And right now we do see, like I said, the experience is even whenever you do this rotation, but when you're being out-rotated, that allows them to turn in the gems effectively, because we do have a full turn-in go on to the side of There's a Chance, but there was 0 gems turned in on the side of Asians with Attitude, so a really huge lead right there on turn-ins.
All these spiders starting at about middle. We'll see Saber looking like they might be in a little bit of trouble now. Noel trying to go in and have it, but use the teleport, go around, taking a lot of damage as he tries to get back behind this gate, though.
Yeah, really, really good juke of that that feral wolf there. Almost could have gone down for sure if Thrall would have landed that, but really good dodging. And it looks like they're really focusing top here. They, with the first web weavers coming out, they're not really that strong. So you always want to try to rotate between the lanes, make sure you're getting all that experience, and just taking out how many towers that you can possibly get, so you can get that EXP lead.
Fat Meat trying to stop them from getting in on this keep. We do see the rest of AWA coming top. Baba Booey taking some damage, but it looks like he's probably going to be able to get away, and Baron coming up just to help him a little bit as they take down this spider, and Leeming also almost having this bottom spider down as well.
Yeah, and it does look like they've got the top set of towers, they've got the middle set of towers, and all the bottom. So no more towers are protecting these forts anymore, and they just have a really decent experience lead here, almost a full level.
And all of theirs is a chance in this middle lane right now, just sticking together, trying to make something happen. Maybe trying to do something right now where they do know it's a 5v4.
Yeah, and it's definitely going to have to be right now. They're going to have to try to turn in some of these gems on the side of Asians with Attitude, because they just have nothing, and they're just holding on to so many, and they can't risk losing all of those gems if they all get in a team fight and lose.
Condemn catching Invirum, Baba Booey knocking back FTC and Ignition. The Gravelev's going off on Invirum as well. Nothing able to happen there, but their chance knows that AWA wants to turn in. They know that they can just basically sit here and guard this and have to force AWA to try and make a move. Fat Meat really low on mana as well, so he's going to have to go back even though he has 27. Getting pushed back right there by Baba Booey. The body block he's trying to get around.
Yeah, they're always a chance. Chance is just waiting for the inevitable to happen right now. If they can hold off a turn-in, they're going to hit level 10 first, and then they're just going to be able to win a team fight, and probably by that time have enough gems to turn in themselves.
Yeah, but Baba Booey doing a really great job here on ETC of just being in AWA's faces, making sure they really can't do anything. Really good power slides getting in and getting those knockbacks back to put someone out of position and have his team do some damage. They're going to wait right here. They're trying to turn in. AWA trying to come in and get rid of some of these coins. Fat Meat has 34? Yeah.
Yes, it's a lot of gems. We see that they have a total of 85 right now, so they definitely
almost
are.
Two turrets.
They're definitely weighing down in their pockets right now, and it does look like they're going to try to turn in bottom here, but Chain Lightning will probably stop that. Wow, not casting. Yeah, instead mounting there. Not sure about that decision, but they're still obviously ahead. They still have ultimates. And speaking of that, they have what did the Malfurion take? He took Tranquility, of course. Mosh Pit. Ring of Frost, Sundering, and Force Wall. So we're finally going to see Ring of Frost, and we do have the Mosh Pit go down here. The Ring of Frost goes down right on top of it, which is able to really just destroy that Uther. And Raynor's going to have to try to get away as fast as possible, and I think they will get away with that. No, Sundering does go out.
Sundering goes out. Baba Booey able to get around and body block, but you saw that the entangling roots went down anyway, so he wouldn't be able to get away at all.
Yeah, but
yeah, forcing that fight when they have 10, there's really nothing that AWA could have done. They're down 2 levels and they don't have their ultimate ability, so it's a little...
So, but they did at least get the turn in, so they did do something. They responded. So, but you know, it looks like that Chance is going to just be able to make sure to push this out really quickly and make sure that these web weavers aren't really a factor.
Mm-hmm. So AWA now getting 10, able to pick up their heroic abilities. We're going to see Phoenix, Blessed Shield, Disintegrate, Hyperion, and Divine Shield. Lots of shields happening.
Yeah, lots of shields going on here, and it does look like they're going to try to get something out of this. Maybe throw that Phoenix out to get some tower damage. Nalda taking a lot of damage, and the does go down by Phoenix.
Down. Yeah, that really great placed Phoenix there, able to do enough damage to him, so as he ran away, he still was getting hit by it. Mir kind of on the wrong side of that too. I was a little surprised that they didn't kind of turn their focus on him since he was on the wrong side of that gate also.
And now they both have enough gems to turn in here, but it looks like it's going to be the easier turn in for Chance. So if Chance can get to the turn in, you know, and split a little bit, they could probably do it pretty quickly. But never mind, it does look like Agents with Attitude are able to turn in.
Yeah, so a little bit of a momentum shift happening right now. Looks like Agents with Attitude able to, you know, catch up a little bit from before.
Yes, and we do have Mosh Pits down for 7 more seconds, but we'll have to see because, you know, that's exactly when they're going to want to fight. They're always going to want to make sure that Mosh Pit is up before they engage anything. So all the ultimates are up on either side, so I definitely expect some sort of engagement or team fight here very soon.
We'll probably have it in the top lane. We'll see Chance clear bottom and mid before they rotate up. But it may be just enough time for AWA to get this top port.
Yeah, it does look like it, but though it does look like it seems that Baba Booey is positioning for maybe a really good flank here. They are so grouped right here. The Force Wall does come out.
The Force Wall kind of forcing them all together, giving the team, they are now able to get away half and half by himself.
Ooh, the Mosh Pit does go out. It does catch one person, but the D-Shield does go out. It does get interrupted. FC Ignition taking a lot of damage, but the Phoenix just doing a lot, and the healing seems like it's not being able to keep up, and Kel'Thas does go down, but Tassadar does as well.
And Baba Booey going down. Null in the back lane, kind of lagging behind. And Virum, though, with that huge... Oh, wow, going down there as well, too. But, yeah, that root able to get Kel'Thas, but, you know, they were so split there, Chance was. They had a Thrall kind of still in the back line of AWA. That it was weird positioning there, though, you know?
Yeah, it was. It looks like they were going to have a really easy team fight there, but AWA able to position themselves in a way that it made it really inconvenient for Mosh Pit to go off, and Uther getting the preemptive Divine Shield also really did great work there. And Verum's going to have a lot of nightmares about that spider just blasting him with a web blast. Just knocking him down as Malfurion.
Yeah, but yeah, that Divine Shield huge on Saber because it allowed him just to sit there with that Disintegrate, doing tons of damage as he just sat there with that laser beam. The lazy beam, as I like to call it.
The lazy beam? I never actually heard of that. It's pretty cool.
But stand there. And...
We do have, both sides do have the same talent here, but they don't have Mosh Pit here. It's not going to be a very good advantage for them to fight here, and they are going to just have to disengage and retreat after taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, we saw the Gravitalapse go out on Baba Booey, and AWA were able to put a lot of damage on him, so they did have to kind of disengage on their tank not having that much damage. And it's hard to get up, you know, with just Malfurion and that hot, you have to wait for that heal to
and we do have the red web weavers going out now, so perhaps now with the Mosh Pit going up in 10 seconds, Sundering being up, and all the other ultimates, they can make a play off of this. I just think they need to be a little bit more patient than they were last time. You know, not needing that Mosh to necessarily do everything, but just making sure they can get whatever the team gives them instead of trying to chase that full 5-man Mosh.
Yeah. We'll see if Mir's going to get a Force Wall off here somewhere to set up the play. That's what I thought was going to happen last time. Baba Booey trying to slide in and make something happen on Saber. Take out that leaning so they can't just do a ton of damage to you.
Right now, they are grouping up kind of a little bit. ETC really kind of rotating around, seeing if he can catch these off. The Force Wall does go out, but it only catches Fat Meat, so not very much going to be accomplished there.
Yeah, but we're seeing that the Force Wall and the Roots happening at the same time. The Mosh goes out now, too, as well on Fat Meat. Is it going to be enough to get him down? He does get the Divine Shield, and he is able to run away the other way. Disengage the team from chasing his team as he split.
Yeah, so we did see most of the ultimates get used there. We still have Phoenix, Sundering, and Force Wall, as well as Ring of Frost go off, so... you know, pretty decent trade on both sides of the teams here. And, oh, they are going to manage to try to catch up to Kel'Thas here, who does get sundered. But, wow, the Gravity Lapse catching him, making sure he's going to be able to get out safe.
Yeah, some clutch Gravity Lapses there by Ignition. But in the meantime, this bottom spider able to push almost basically to that keep. And it's down all of them? Yeah, so AWA only now having 3 of their 3 keeps up, all the forts down.
So while there's a little lull in the action here, we'll talk about the 13 talents before the 16 ones come up. We, of course, have Chain Bomb on Kel'Thas, Burning Rage on Johanna, Illusionist on that Li Ming trying to secure the kills, Relentless Leader on Raynor. A really good choice because even if he gets moshed, he can knock off the ETC ultimate, which is really good. And Shrink Ray on Uther.
Interesting. It'll be interesting to see who that gets used on. Maybe Thrall.
Yeah, most likely it's going to be the Thrall, but also perhaps the ETC if he's trying to walk a little bit forward to position his mosh pits. But I think you're right. Thrall's definitely a good choice to Shrink Ray here.
On the other side for 13, we see Ice Block being taken by Malfurion, Showstopper on ETC, improved Ice Block for Jaina, Giant Killer on Thrall, and Prescience on Tassadar.
Yeah, and now we have 16, which we still have the Arcane Barrier, which I'm surprised a lot of people aren't taking it because it's a little bit weaker, but a Shield's a shield. Holy Renewal, Mirror Ball, Bullseye, and Benediction.
Looks like Ignition trying to get away from getting engaged on right there. On the other side, Hardened Focus by Malfurion, Speed Metal from ETC, Numbing Blast by Jaina, so just for that extended root chill, Chain Lightning, and Dimensional Warp.
Yeah, and it looks like right now both teams kind of dancing around. The ETC, of course, trying to look and see if they can get a good mosh pit off. But, you know, just trying to collect as many gems as they can. And it looks like they're in position to get the gems on the side of Asian with Attitude. They just have to find a way to turn in at some point.
Right, Baba-Boo doing so much work there, trying to catch Johanna. Fat Meat having to blow basically everything to get away with this. The Divine Shield giving use so he doesn't get caught in there. Baba-Boo taking damage. Ignition having to blow his shield as well. This Mosh really only getting him. He's going to go down. Baba-Boo, though, maybe he's going to go. No, the shield able to save him. Null taking some damage. The Force Wall actually trapping him over there. And then Mirror's going to be taken down by Saber as well. Able to get that huge magic missile damage in.
Yeah, and it's a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Asians with Attitude, and that's just what they need right now to possibly turn in. Though it looks like they're going to try to prevent them as much as possible, but they have to be very careful to not get caught out.
Yeah, and Chance, you know, in the situation where they are having to worry about both Kael'thas and Li Ming, and when they go in on one, the other able to just lay out a lot of damage. And, you know, great positioning by AWA, making sure that the two of them are nowhere near each other, that there can't be a Mosh that does substantial damage to their team.
Yeah, definitely. And that Chain Bomb did a lot of work in that last team fight as well. And you'd have to be careful because, you know, and Varum's going to pop his ultimate to try to heal everybody up, and you want to stand around in it, but you also don't want to chain your Chain Bombs on top of each other and do a lot of damage to your team. So it's definitely just a huge positional battle between these two teams right now. Baba Booey again. Yeah, trying to do as much as he can. He doesn't have Mosh Pit, though, so he's got to be very careful of how he initiates this team fight. The Ring of Frost hitting 3 people, but once again, it's just mostly a disengaged Ring of Frost. There's not much aggression or anything they could do with it without Mosh Pit being up or nothing to set it up.
Really, I feel like Baba Booey doing everything he can to try and make plays happen for his team.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's a little hard, you know, he can only really get in on Johanna, and Johanna's able to get away, you know, she's able to put shields on herself and and have the invulnerable and not get, you know, hit by the roots or anything like that. So it's doing the right thing, but it's almost not paying off doing it on Johanna.
Yeah, and you know, I'm really glad that Bobby Boo is doing a lot of work because I'm just having such a blast saying his name every single time. I want to tell him after the match that he probably has the best name that I've seen in a while. But yeah, it's just like right now they're just going to clear up as much as they can. The web weavers, it looks like they're just kind of even on structures at the moment. So just a really, really, really close game from both of these two teams.
And yeah, I think Chance has enough to turn in. I think we're going to see it here if they can sneak it before AWA comes up and can stop it. We do see the wall kind of give his team some time to finish capping those gems.
Gems.
Yeah, I was going to say egg sacks, but...
But yeah, now we're gonna have to see exactly what happens here because they do have but they're actually gonna try to engage here, and the Blessed Shield does go out. Noel taking a ton of damage and making sure to use Sundering on it. It does go on Kel'Thas. Really great. 3 people caught by Kel'Thas popping the barrier though and still having a huge impact.
And the Divine Shield, yeah. Everything going down.
And Varum trying to heal as much as possible. Noel though getting stunned by the Gravity Lapse, taking a ton of damage and going down. And Varum has to be careful too that this laser is gonna do it, but his Q is just enough to keep him alive. So a 1-for-0 trade in favor of Agents with Attitude, while the Spiders are pushing top and middle.
And I do not know how Ignition stayed alive there. You know, it was a great mosh. It got Lucky Swan Ignition, and it seemed like half and half was in there, but able to stay alive. That arcane barrier really clutch there in the last 2 team fights for Ignition.
Yeah, and I mean, between the Arcane Barrier and the Illusionist from Saber to be able to blink away from a lot of trouble, these mages proving to be anything but easy to kill this game.
Definitely slippery.
I feel like sometimes it's your favorite word, slippery.
It's a good word.
But we're going to see them take the Bruiser Camp here and just try to get some pressure on the map because, you know, really the Bruiser Camps on this map are just, wait, there's nothing to do right now, let's take this Bruiser Camp.
Let's see with the gem situation here. Oh, and yeah, almost about halfway to a turn-in for AWA.
Well, they have AWA has 53 right now, I believe, so they're pretty close
55.
to turning on. Yeah, they're pretty close to getting the turn.
We're coming in trying to stop it.
They do have Storm Talents as well now. We'll take a quick look at those. We have Blink on Kel'Thas, making him even more slippery. Indestructible on Johanna. Temporal Flux with that Disintegrate Slow that does a lot of work and probably can secure even more kills. Nexus Frenzy and Redemption, but we do have a team fight going on here, and Malfurion absolutely gets deleted, and Jaina's not going to fall too far behind as well. Just a really huge win for Agents with Attitude right there.
Noel, too, is going to get, so close, he's going to have to sprint away, but yeah, that Disintegrate just doing a lot of damage, and like you said, that slow in there, making it so they can't get away, and too much damage for Tranquility to heal.
Yeah, and right now they just need 4 more gems right now. You would think they want to rotate and maybe get these gems really quick. There's no way, I mean, they can fight into this, but I think it's more of the advantage of the fight behind the web weavers, and I think that's exactly what they're going to do right now.
Yeah, maybe also, they're going to go do boss. I mean, if they were going to do boss, is the time to do it. They have the numbers advantage. Chance is going to have to be very careful about kind of contesting this. But
yeah. Two down, they can't do one.
But yeah, it would be very dangerous for them to contest this. So anyway, we're going to get it uncontested, probably turn in now, and now they have Spiders and Boss pushing.
Yeah, and it's going to just be a really huge deal here because, yeah, Spiders and Boss, they are guaranteed at least somewhere around here if they push S5 team members to probably get a keep out of this, if not 2.
And it looks like that's what they are going to do.
Yeah, the boss doing a lot of work here. It's a 21-minute boss, so it's a pretty big boss. It's going to hit really hard. This boss here with the tornado and the amount of stuns it has really prevents Baba Booey from doing too much damage. And the stun into the Disintegrate just immediately puts 3/4 of the team at half health.
Tranquility getting popped to kind of top everybody back off so they can defend this if AWA continues to push. Fat Meat trying to get in, looks like on Envirum. Baba Boo going in the back line though. That laser rim going out. Oh, and is the Mosh gonna go off? No, he's gonna go in and take a lot of damage. The Death Mosh goes off, but it's kind of not on that buffering across.
Yeah, and it does look like right now with the way that things are going with the heroes that they are losing, it's just going to be GG, and Agents with Attitude are going to be able to end this. The core is at 30%, 20%, 15%, and it's going to be GG, Agents with Attitude picking up the victory here after a well-played team fight.
Yeah, just so much damage. Those Kael'thas, Gleaming, Raynor. It was a lot of damage. And I feel like Chance just not able to get back in on those two mages, especially. I mean, and Raynor too. I guess we could call Raynor a mage. Get back on the back line and make an impact, take someone down.
Yeah, we have Saber here with 72k hero damage, just doing absolute work in that game. And really, we've seen it time and time again that we've casted these matches. It's just been a ranged meta. The people with the most ranged heroes are just doing superior work in these matches for the most part. But it was really well played on both sides once again though, and just they can't really survive the Li Ming Kael'thas burst. And once again, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that Li Ming has 100% win rate in this tournament.
I think so. I think that's what it is. That Disintegrate just is so strong. So very strong. And I mean, and Raynor there too. Let us not discount Raynor in that game. He sometimes isn't as flashy, so we overlook him, but putting out the damage there too, not really getting caught as well.
Yeah, for sure. And that means that the Agents with Attitude right now, if I'm not mistaken, they're going to be going to the finals. And
yes.
They're going to be going against Excelsior?
Yeah.
Yep. So it's going to be Agents with Attitude versus Excelsior. And we've casted both of these teams tonight. And we just keep seeing time and time again that Agents with Attitude, when we've casted them, have such really good positioning. But Excelsior as well, just really, really good at team fighting and really, really good at picking their comps. So I think we're going to have a really, really... I need to stop saying really, really. But a really good finals tonight.
Yes, and it'll be best of 3, and which is always nice because then you see kind of that second game is always my favorite game because you see the adjustments, you see the bans of things. Like I'm pretty sure we're gonna see a Li Ming ban. I would be surprised if we saw it in these finals. That'll be my guess moving forward.
Yeah, I'm just gonna see. I mean, we've been seeing people just kind of just bait this Li Ming out, and they're like, I think we can handle it. It'll be just fine. And then every single time, the Li Ming is just absolutely destroying. And we have people in Twitch chat just saying that that Li Ming is just so powerful right now. You'd half and half.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't you ban going in? Wouldn't seeing what Saber's done tonight on Li Ming? Wouldn't you ban that? I think that'd be the smart decision.
Yeah. So so it looks like we're just gonna wait on the two teams right here to. We'll just keep it live here. We won't have to go to any breaks here because we're just going to wait for the two teams to set up the draft and try to get that to you as soon as possible. But what do you guys think in Twitch chat? Do you think that Li Ming is too strong right now, too powerful, or do you think that just we're seeing well-played Li Mings today? I don't know. I personally think that she's still not too overpowered because she still does take a little bit of skill to hit her skill shots.
Maybe.
But
I think that even if you don't hit every skill shot, she still can do a lot of damage. And in this tournament, I think most people are going to be hitting their skill shots. I don't think it's going to be the case where we see a lot of them being missed. We haven't seen a lot of them being missed, and I think that's been, the deciding factor. But, I mean, yeah, so then at that, is it OP because most of the people that are competitively playing make it OP? Maybe.
Yeah, I can definitely see... I mean, I know they say it's a lot about the siege, and people are complaining about that and saying her damage is balanced, but I mean, we've seen time and time again just the idea of resets. You think you can get her down, and then with dominance, which is kind of funny because nobody took dominance from S of Johan because it was on that same tier, but now that everybody's taking dominance, people are realizing, man, Li Ming is super hard to kill. She's got a blink that's off of cooldown like almost every 3 seconds, and... she also just restores health if we make one mistake and just wipes the entire team.
Right. Yeah, and, able to chase with a teleport, able to get away with teleport, but then also able to chase a teleport into range, and then re-put down that disintegrate, and we saw that disintegrate just as people run away and try, and they get slowed and they just can't make it, and they just die.
Yeah, and it's...
So yeah, she's OP. They need to tweak her a little bit. They either need to, I think if they kind of tweaked it so that it's a higher risk reward, it would be a little bit better, but because she's, as you're saying, not as squishy as maybe we all think she is, she's better.
Yeah, and I think I would be surprised if we see Li Ming in the finals. I think you're correct. I think she's going to be banned. But, and I'm getting somebody telling me right now in a chat here that Li Ming was not even picked at Enter the Storm EU this morning, which is kind of interesting because it always seems like EU always picks the heroes that take a lot of skill. So maybe that says a lot about Li Ming. I'm not sure.
But I also think that Europe doesn't play heroes because they're like, oh no, that hero is too OP and we have to play this like underrated hero. No, I think that sometimes happens. So there's a lot of like heroes you don't see a lot in the NA scene, in the EU scene, like heroes that, and same with like the Asian Korean scene too. Like how long no one played Sonya for ages, and then the Koreans are playing Sonya. Everyone's like, oh yeah, Sonya's good. And so I think that happens, is that something falls out of kind of favor, but then someone will come around who's like really good at it, and make it come up again, like make it viable again. But I mean, like I don't see the point of not taking Li Ming. She's got a pretty good kit, and she does a lot of damage. So
yeah, I definitely agree, and it's kind of got to that point where, everybody was talking about Rhaegar and how strong he is, but at least tonight, she's taken off our attention off of Rhaegar, who, he's gone against Li Ming a couple of times tonight, and he has gone down. So, I guess maybe Li Ming is the new king of the jungle here after the Rhaegar nerfs. And right now, we're trying to get you that draft link as soon as possible, and I'm sure they're just about there and doing that. And remember that the finals are going to be best of 3. And just a reminder to people, I see our viewer count kind of went up a little bit, that are just tuning in. We do have a global ban on Stitches that's still being enforced because his hook is going out and causing lag whenever it's cast from the Fog of War. So we won't see Stitches. So all you Stitches fans out there, sad face. I know I really like me some Stitches play. It seems like just right when he got back into the meta, there had to be a bug to take him out of it, of course.
Oh, definitely.
I just think that people have bad memories of Alpha Stitches whenever he was just able to kill every single person on the team by himself. But
I keep checking for this draft. I think they're just getting ready. I mean, I guess oh no, I have it. I found it. So let's get this, as they are about to enter the map ban phase. And then also with this, as a reminder that they do the first map ban the same, the first game, and then for the second game, the loser decides whether they want map choice or first in draft.
Yeah, correct. So it's going to definitely be interesting to see how they use that and exactly what map will happen in the second game. But, the first one just being the same exact as it usually is. And I don't know. I'm just really excited about this match in general because both of these teams that we've casted tonight have done an excellent job. And I actually have seen Asians with Attitude win another amateur tournament just this past Friday. And they were really great and they're really awesome. And I had never really heard of them before. So I'm not sure if it's just an old team that's been renamed. But either way, if not, they're definitely on the rise on the amateur scene right now.
Well, as an Asian with an attitude, I'm going to jump on their bandwagon a little bit. I like that name.
You do. It does seem like a name that you would like.
Yes. So it looks like they have started the map ban. We're going to see Sky Temple and Garden of Terror knocked out first.
Yeah, and, once again, my dream of seeing Garden of Terror is never going to happen. So most likely we'll probably just see the same exact map bans that go out at the very beginning of every single time. Nope. I was expecting Black Hearts, but not really. Dragonshire first, but there's Black Hearts.
I think we're gonna see a in no who no one wants to play Infernal Shrines. No one wants to go against John Cena. Battlefield of Eternity maybe. That'll be nice to see another one of those.
I'm rooting for Tower's Doom here, even though it's probably going to be the next ban because.
Oh no, Tomb of Spider Queen is off the map, off the choices now.
Oh man, come on,
man.
Towers of Doom. Towers
it's gonna
of
be
Doom.
something interesting. Maybe something we haven't seen.
Nope.
Oh, there you go. So I think that it's probably going to be. I think we'll probably see Infernal Shrines banned and Battlefield of Eternity be what we play. I'm not sure if people like Infernal Shrines that much. It's probably one of my favorite maps right now, but I'm crazy. So
Battlefield of Eternity. So yep, just kind of like you said, no Infernal Shrines, but I really like Infernal Shrines too. It's definitely not as bad as it used to be. I just think people have really bad memories of it whenever it was really snowbally. So
I like when we see that and then like a hammer, because that's the thing with Infernal Shrines is you can get some non-standard meta crazy picks on that map.
And this is exactly what I figured would happen from Asians with Attitude. They're not going to ban Li Ming out here because they want to force the Li Ming ban on the other team because they have a really skilled Li Ming player. Mm-hmm. So Excelsior's got they don't really have many options here. They either ban Li Ming or they're just giving it to Asians with Attitude, which is what they're thinking about right now.
And they are gonna ban it. Looks like, because you don't want him to have it, and probably that's a smart choice there. But they are going to pick up Rhaegar with that first pick, so another top tier hero instead.
Yeah, I think that was a really good strategy here, and I'm sure that they prepared for this and they had their Li Ming comp set up. And when they were preparing in their scrims and such, they said, all right, so if they're going to take Li Ming, we're going to have our Rhaegar comp that we're also going to do as well. Meanwhile, Excelsior countering by having a really strong poke line of Jaina and Lunara.
Mm-hmm. And they played this a lot tonight, correct?
Yes, correct. They do have a favoring tendency towards Lunara, and we've seen in the game that people just seem to think they can just go up and just beat up Lunara because he's just this prancing little dryad going around, and then she turns around, hits her W, and then people they try to escape, and it's too late after that.
Mm-hmm. And so here, I guess, is this Rhaegar comp? Is they're going to pick up Tyrande as well?
Yep, and Tyrande, we've seen a lot of Tyrande play here. I think this is, once again, did we have Tyrande last match? I can't remember anymore.
Not last match.
Not last match, but every other match.
She was banned last match.
Yeah, that's true. And now we have the Thrall coming out, which, Thrall has been picked or banned pretty much the entire tournament as well. Just lots of damage, the Sundering just being able to disengage as well as engage on team fights. And we see the Diablo ban come out from Excelsior.
Yeah, but no warriors picked yet, so still a lot on the board to choose from. Asians with Attitude going to ban the Uthers, so 3 support now off the board, leaving Excelsior with Morales, Brightwing, Tassadar maybe, or Malfurion. Maybe the Lili. Wouldn't that be interesting?
That would be a little bit different, huh? Maybe they go for the healer frontline here. I would imagine Johanna's been really successful tonight, and right now they are highlighting the Johanna. And
Karazim, we could see a Karazim.
We could definitely see a Karazim, but I would not be surprised to see the Medic again, because Medic is just really good, especially with Lunara doing a lot of sustained auto attack damage if you can pop that stim drone. But there's
also
a lot of options.
Also having the knockback for Rhaegar. When obviously there's going to be some Tyrande engage, so maybe giving your team a little bit of disengage from that stun would be helpful. Oh, nope. We are going to see... No, I can't. Oh, yeah. It always throws me when they, key it in, but they don't lock it in.
Yeah.
But we're going to see Brightwing, which we've seen before. Excelsior played it earlier. So...
Yeah, definitely another Brightwing game. Another rejoicing from all the Brightwing fan club that we have from the NexVerse staff and crew. So I know a lot of people are happy to see this. I'm not exactly sure. They must have a strategy for this, because I think that Brightwing, this might not be Brightwing's best map, but at the same time, Brightwing is really good on every single map because if you play her effectively, you just get that soak, and you make sure that, while you're deciding, you could just position between the Immortals, kind of poke all day while Brightwing gets that extra soak and just teleports in whenever needed.
Yeah, and also with Brightwing on this map, the sustained healing is really, really high. You don't have to go back as often because you have that passive gust happening all the time. And just like topping off your team constantly. We see Agents with Attitude picking up ETC as their front line now. And who do you think they're going to pick for this last spot? Oh, a Vala.
A lot of Vala because, we've talked about the theme of the night was range damage. The team that had the better range damage so far has won. So they thought about that too. They're thinking between Vala or Raynor. Even with Vala or Raynor, this is once again going to be a problem with Agents with Attitude. They're just not going to have as much poke as Excelsior, just with Lunara and Jaina alone.
Mm-hmm. I always feel like Raynor may have been a little bit better for just that reason, but I guess you could get some damage in with Strafe or Rain of Vengeance. It depends. They could go either, I guess.
Are we really going to see a double tank comp come right here with Jaina Lunara being the focus of the damage? I mean, that seems to be pretty good, especially since, Tyrande Rhaegar, double healer. You would think they would need a little bit more damage, but I can see the benefit of being able to peel off and let Lunara and Jaina do the damage, but I don't know. Are they just messing with us here? Are they really going to pick Artanis?
No, we may see it. We may see them throw Prism of Tyrande or Prism of Vala. And, a lot of damage able to kind of hang out. Oh, man. Just the troll. My emotions right now are everywhere with this.
Yeah.
This Excelsior
I was wondering what they know. Now that, it does this, people have just gotten in the habit of in the last pick just saying, oh, what are we going to pick, guys? And they are going to pick the Artanis. And I like that pick because I was really worried if they were going to pick Muradin. I was going to say, how are they going to be able to damage the Immortal? I mean, they have Lunara and Jaina, but Brightwing and Johanna don't really have that much damage against it. But Artanis does provide that extra bit of damage that could possibly, allow them to race a little bit better. But we have Tyrande, Thrall, and Vala, so that's going to be a lot of damage as well on the Immortal.
Yes. And I think that I don't know, I feel like Jaina Lunara is a little bit more damage on the Immortal than if we're going to, compare it to Vala and Thrall, so...
Yeah, but there's always the Tyrande factor, and also, Rhaegar with Lightning Shield. It's definitely going to be a really close range because Johanna doesn't really do that much. She's almost like just not any damage.
Mm-hmm. And are we going to see what are we going to see the multi-shot again from Vala, or with the Tyrande are we going to see more of the auto attack build?
Yeah, I'm not sure because we don't really see Vala auto attack go that much, but we had a previous game that she decided to go auto attack, and it actually worked out. It's quite well. It does a lot of bit of burst damage, and it's really surprising to people when it does happen.
Mm-hmm. If you can carry your stacks and have everything topped off. And then you can, build it with a lot of self-heal, too. So, again, Vala really interesting because of the ability to build in so many different ways.
So
it affects team fights.
Do you feel that there was somebody who definitively won the draft, or do you feel it's kind of just on equal parts right now?
To be honest, I think that Excelsior might have come out on top on the draft. It's gonna be hard, I think, for Agents with Attitude to do a lot of damage on Excelsior. They have a big front line to get through, a Brightwing to get past, because with the ETC and the Mosh, they can be polymorphed out of that. The Sundering, I think, is going to be really important. If Thrall can get off some good Sunderings, it may be the deciding factor to AWA making those kills in the team fight.
Yeah, no, right now, guys, we're just trying to get everybody into the lobby here. We're trying to set up this match for you. Remember that the finals are actually a best of 3, not a best of 1 here, so stick around after this game because, you never know. It could go all the way to 3 games, and by the quality of these 2 teams that we've casted tonight, I would not be surprised if it goes all the way.
To all three, I would have to agree with it. It's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, and let me invite you to the lobby.
Oh, you got in but not me this time?
Yeah, I know. For once, I mean, you have been the popular one all night, so I don't want to hear any sort of complaints. But, I'm going to ask you while we're waiting for this match to go, for you people in Twitch chat, who are you rooting for? Who are you going for? Who do you think's going to win this match? Well, let's not even say the match yet. Let's just focus on this individual round. Do you think it's going to be the pokier comp of Excelsior or the harder engaged comp of Asians with Attitude? I'm really kind of torn between it too, because I've tried to predict these, and I think I've gotten some of it right, but not completely.
Pandemonium
Apparently, because we got the straight lilies going on here of the portraits.
Right.
And I'm gonna say, I was talking about Lunar Jaina being one of my favorite skins in the game, but man, that's kind of majestic. That I don't know what skin it is for Greymane, but the one with the top hat and the America skin.
Yeah, it's the ringleader Greymane one, right?
Yeah, I love that skin. That's pretty darn good.
I know my skins.
You do. I am
Ringmaster
not doubting you anymore about your skins. Okay, we were talking fashion, and you're the fashionista here, apparently, of Heroes of the Storm. Tell Blizzard to design those skins. I'm telling you, we need that Zagara with that Gucci going on.
The best skin that I ever saw that I always thought Blizzard had to make was a Disco Kael'thas. I saw it on Reddit one day, and it was like, oh my gosh. And they with the 1980s mustache or 70s mustache and the with the little disco balls around him and stuff. It was classic.
Oh gosh.
All right.
So Ben said an awful joke. I don't know if you saw that. I actually forgot the joke. It was that bad I forgot the joke. All right, so you want to announce on the left which is going to be Asians with Attitude?
So with Asians with Attitude, we're going to see Thrall on FC Ignition, Fat Meat on ETC, Saber on Vala, Lucky Swan on Tyrande, and Half and Half on Rhaegar.
All right, and then on the other side, we're going to have Ben the Magic J on Johanna, Cruel Alloy on Brightwing, who has absolutely been a playmaker this tournament, Ruby's on Lunara, Ciara on Artanis, and Mr. Frigger on Jaina. So let's get ready, everybody, to get into this match. We're just everybody loading up at the moment. The best of three between Excelsior and Asians with Attitude.
Right, it's interesting here. We've seen Ciara on Jaina a lot tonight. So on Artanis now will be interesting to see. Frigger on Greymane, I think 2 games that we've seen him tonight also. So kind of a little bit of a switch up for Excelsior.
Yeah, for sure. And now looks like we're going to have a look at some of these level 1 talents as they come in while we're having a little bit of a lull here. We have Rolling Thunder with Thrall probably going the standard lightning build, Rolling Like a Stone, Ranger's Mark, and really it's always, we're going to have to see what this first talent the Vala takes here, as well as Rhaegar as soon as they pop up.
Yeah, it's pretty, I wonder, it will be, so we're going to see Siphoning Arrow, so it is the Returned Health on Hungering Arrow for that Vala. Rhaegar still hasn't picked, and either has Brightwing.
And right now we're going to see that little kind of hiding in a bush here, trying to see if they can analyze things. But, the owl goes out really soon, so it's going to be quite soon. But Ruby has to be careful here that she doesn't get rooted. But going to get away relatively easy.
That was a good joke.
Gosh. All right, guys. These jokes are they're coming fast and they're coming bad right now. So we're gonna see what happens here. Fat Meat here, being really aggressive here, but taking a lot of damage from that poke that we were talking about. Almost going down completely here. Lunara just keeping up with the auto attack, and her W will go up, but her heal will go, and Rhaegar ends up falling.
Yeah, he was actually just lagging behind a little bit. Interesting kind of tier or level 1 choice here for talents too by Rhaegar. He took Colossal Totem, so the range on Earth Prime Totem increased by 50%.
Interesting indeed, but I will say that a lot of people love the Lightning Shield build, but if you've ever built a full Totem Rhaegar after the changes to it, he does a ton of damage. And Lucky Swan right here, taking a lot of poke damage from Lunara, able to get away though from that, making sure the double healer being a special, but you know, that galloping speed of Ruby's able to make her really aggressive and be able to escape as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, AW taking a lot of damage here from Ruby. And Fat Meat taking a lot of damage, especially really not able to spend a lot of time in that front line.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to say pre-10, the poke comp is going to definitely win out in these type of engagements because of the sundering into the mosh pit and those game-changing ultimates that can help you engage aren't there, and so they're just going to continue to get poked by Excelsior.
So we go into this first Immortals, basically even both teams at 3.
Yeah, exactly, and it does look like they're going to try to be really aggressive here on the side of Excelsior, which is the right call. But
Ben
Asians
taking some damage.
Yeah, Asians with attitude, though, have to be... They're making sure that they're doing as much damage as they can, but Fat Meat getting pulled in by the Condemn. Ruby's taking a lot of damage, and the Owl goes out and does take her down. And Ciari has to be careful as well.
The shield's proccing right there, able to keep him alive for just a little bit, though, while they take out Tyrande, and he is going to go down. Cool Alloy trying to get away, but it is hard, and the Bark with the kill there.
Yeah, Asians with attitude really just able to do a lot more sustain than I thought they could with Tyrande and Rhaegar, and they do get the Immortal to half here, so a really big win for them at this moment, but they're all going to have to go back and tap for sure.
Mm-hmm. For this halftime split, we do see everybody get their level 4 talents. Healing totem being taken by Rhaegar for just like a little bit of extra healing, I believe. I think it's nice on this map to have that healing totem because it lets you kind of sustain a little bit longer.
Yeah, we do have the Laws of Hope, Unstable Anomaly, Nimble Wisp, Templar's Zeal, and Snowstorm. So trying to get as many people as they can with those blizzards and their combos here.
Yep, and on the other side, Ride the Lightning, Double Knight's Guitar, Puncturing Arrow, and Pierce. So that Sentinel will go past the first target.
Yeah, and Asians with attitude here. After having a little bit of a rough start here, of getting poked out by this comp, being really aggressive, getting a ton of damage on the Immortal, and you know they're going to get the towers out of this. Meanwhile, while Thrall and Brightwing battling it out for making sure they're getting that soak. Ben the Magic J having to be very careful here, taking a lot of damage, but he's going to be just fine and walk away.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, not having Brightwing there to kind of top him off means Ciari has to take over that frontline position.
Wow, they're being really quite aggressive here, but they're going to have to watch out. The Polymorph does go out. The Condemn goes on there as well. The swap goes on Fat Meat, and Fat Meat is going to go straight down right there. Ruby's making sure that getting the effective poke damage off.
Yeah, and make sure they take down that totem. They don't want them to get any healing.
Yeah, and Thrall, though, whenever Brightwing's going up, made sure to get the most out of Kid bottom EXP-wise, so good job there, and, you know, they were able to turn that around, and now the EXP is kind of about even now.
Mm-hmm. And just in that engagement, too, we saw Saber do so much damage there. Basically burned down Ben by himself. And Chase really forcing Ben to back out there. The Condemn goes off, Fat Meat knocking back, able to give his team enough time to get away there and behind the gate.
Yeah, see, right now, though, I will say that the swaps done by Ciari, the Artanis in this game, have been kind of on point and really being able to set up his team for some kills here. So it's going to really play into the late game, seeing how that keeps going, because that is not an easy skill shot to land if you've ever played Artanis. Meanwhile, they're just going to push down these towers up here top, making use of the siege camp, and they're just going to try to push their advantage as much as possible, but Ben the Magic J having to back off here. But Ruby's just dishing out so much damage along with Jaina and Brightwing here.
Yep, and you see, we're seeing Ally time that polymorph, so when Fat Meat comes in and is trying to body block and kind of make something happen, just making him smaller and everyone able to get around him.
And it does look like they're going to try to pick up this Bruiser camp right now, which would be a really, really great time. And they actually had a favorable Immortal spawn as well, so really, really good decision making by Excelsior here.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile,
and able to get it down really quickly. Oh,
yeah.
The stun going on Cool Alloy. Fat Meat comes in, able to knock pull Alloy back, and he's trying to get away, but it's not going to be enough to see the Hungering Arrow go there.
Yeah, but Fat Meat is also going to be, so it's going to be kind of a trade here. But remember, as these trades are going out and they're trying to DPS them off, Agents with Attitude is able to get quite a bit of damage on that Immortal and is able to get a little bit of advantage by being aggressive. But FZ Ignition is going to be taken out. Really, Lunara doing so much work this game. That slow just able to CC and keep those heroes from running away. You just can't run away from Lunara.
And as soon as this it'll get to half here, we see the Prism go, Saber getting thrown, gonna take a lot of damage, isn't able to get away. The Polymorph goes out on Lucky Swan too.
Yeah, see Ari just hitting every single one of his swaps and just able to capitalize on it, and they're just able to get these Immortals because of it.
Excelsior having to go back a little bit, a few of them, just to kind of tap both Frigger and Rubies.
Meanwhile,
but with those double tanks, the double tank and the healer just able to kind of force AWA off the Immortal and give the time for the mages enough time to go back and top off.
Yeah, and Lunari is just doing a lot of damage here, making sure Ciari, though, actually getting caught out here, having to be very careful, using his blade dash here, but is going to go down.
Yeah, we saw the combination of Lucky Swan and Saber doing a lot of damage there with the Hunter's Mark, and then you just see the Hunting Arrow go in after that and just do a lot of damage.
Yeah, they did manage. Artanis did go down, but Excelsior did get the Immortal, so that's pretty much a win here, unless they get this Jaina here that they're trying to catch out. Oh, and he does use the Mosh.
The Mosh goes off, yeah, the level 10 Frigger taking, going down right there. Really nothing you could do. Okay,
and we did see it, guys. That wasn't an error on my stream going on here or casting. That was indeed Bloodlust that was casted by Rhaegar. So yes, Rhaegar is taking Bloodlust this game.
I mean, it's an interesting choice, but you have other support, so I guess that's the argument to be made for it. The stun is able to catch Ben, but he gets out of it. Cruel Alloy ports in, but this first fort is going to go down. Yes, for sure, and we're going to try to keep on this engagement here as Ruby is just chasing, taking some damage from the Hungering Arrow, but just really trying to poke out Fat Meat as much as possible. Ignition coming in from behind, yeah, huge. Alloy's probably going to look like it's going to go down here. Oh, able to get away, though, the blink out. But not far enough. Frigger getting chased now, too. The totem goes down and the slow. Lightning is going out after him, and there goes the power slide for the kill. Yeah, really, really good there. The Thrall just had such a good sundering there to just come out from behind and do a really good flank, and they just kind of finished off those two heroes. So really good with Agents with Attitude, but you know, sometimes it's unfortunate that whenever you win some things, you always want to be looking for what type of advantage that you can pull out of it. So, you know, there's not an Immortal spawning right now. There's not a really huge lane that they push, so they just have to kind of settle for, you know, being ahead on EXP and just getting some camps out of the way. Right, but it does look like 808 is going to hit 13 before the next Immortal, which is going to be huge, because we'll see if Excelsior is able to. And while we have this brief lull, we'll probably talk about ultimates really quick. Sundering, Mosh Pit, Strafe, Shadowstalk, and Bloodlust. And on the other side, it's going to be Blessed Shield, Blink Heal, Thornwood Vine, Suppression Pulse, and Water Elemental. Interesting, though. I still don't know, like, we don't have Vala necessarily going an auto-attack build and actually looking more like going a Hungering Arrow build. Definitely. I guess the Rhaegar, just the Bloodlust maybe not even necessarily used for the attack damage, but just slowing. Sundering goes out again. Jari's taking a lot of damage. But Thrall's getting the first to go down, and then Meat too. Just the getting caught in the blizzard was a lot of damage right there. Yeah, it looked like it was a really successful play there and a gank by there, but the Mosh Pit was immediately canceled as soon as it was done, and Vala is going to go down too as well. And Agents with Attitude just taking heavy casualties there, and Excelsior coming out on top right as Immortals are spawning, so that's really unfortunate timing for Agents with Attitude. And was it the Blessed or was it the Poly that interrupted that? I believe it was the Poly that interrupted that, but I'd have to go back and look at it. It really did. That mosh didn't even exist. It's just as soon as it happened, it was done. The audio cue, and then it was over. But the Immortals are going to go into halftime right now and switch. AWAs might try to come back here and stop this. No, it looks like they're just going to stay in lane. Get that 13 so they're not going in, a talent down. But it's a huge shield on this Immortal now.
Yeah, this Immortal's going to be really, really big. It's only at 11 minutes, but they're going to get a keep off of this if they play it right.
Right, and it looked like AWA wanting to kind of go in there and try to get a kill, but not really able to get the positioning to do so. We see Fat Meat going around, maybe get a slide in here and try to make something happen. It's 30 seconds, though, for Mosh. They only really have Sun... I mean, they have everything up except for Mosh.
Yeah, that's always Mosh, and luckily they do get the 13... They do have the 13 talents here as well, so they are on the same talent tier. But, you know, you definitely don't want to fight whenever the Immortal can cast some stuns around you. You want to just try to poke it down as much as possible and hope that they kind of overextend in the middle of it.
Brightwing in the top lane, getting that XP. We saw Thrall try and come around and make something happen on Ruiz, but not able to. Ben taking a lot of damage. Al having to come in and save him with that shield. The Mosh goes off.
As it does go up the catch, but it gets interrupted. ETC gonna go down. Thrall with the Sundering, able to displace Brightwing away here, but it's not really matter. The Strafe going out, doing a lot of damage. They don't really have an interrupt for it, but really, it's just they're gonna have to disengage as much as possible. They did a lot of damage, but they couldn't finish anyone off.
Right, Alloy's really low. That Suppression Pulse also doing a lot of damage as well in that big team fight when the Mosh goes down. Rhaegar going down right there, and Excelsior just...
And are they just going to core here? Do they have the health too? I think they have to back off.
I don't think they can. The tanks are too low, and even though the Brightwing can heal, I don't think that they are going to be able to finish it.
They are going to stay here as much as possible. ETC trying to do as much disruption as he can, but he's going to be focused down immediately and actually go down.
Yeah.
And this is game. This is going to be game.
Yeah, that Prism there was huge because they were able to get him, but wow, Alloy coming in right at the right time. Ben taking a lot of damage, but just able to come in with the shield was really, really big. Having to take Ice Block there, though, I almost never see Brightwing take Ice Block, but that saved him right there. And just that sustain from Brightwing, that even though everybody's low, that passive healing that happens all the time, able to just give him enough to finish the game right there. But wow, Ciari with the huge prisms, right? Huge prisms from Ciari.
Yeah, for sure. Ciari landed every single prism that he needed to in that game. And like I said, that is not an easy ability to land. It is very finicky, and you have to make sure you cast it at the right time. It's gotten a little bit better since they buffed it, but it's still not the best. We do see Vala, who we were question the Vala pick because Vala is really a specialty pick that only a few people can really play well, but it is Saber who usually plays Lei Ming, and came out with the 42k damage there. But Jaina, on the other hand, doing the 46k damage herself, so really just, it was a really great game, but the poking, and we've seen a lot of ETC happen today, but we haven't seen ETC really been successful in landing a lot of their moshes and just basically getting bursted down when they overextend with the power slide.
And I just like the combination there by Excelsior. I think they had a lot of synergy between their heroes. Like we were saying, Jaina and Lunara really, really, synergizing together, it seems like. And then that Suppression Pulse throwing in there too, just slowing everything down, creating a little bit of more chaos in that mix of that big team fight. And it just, AWA just not able to capitalize on kills, get enough kills out of it. I mean, a lot of people low on Excelsior's side during those team fights, but just not enough to secure the kills. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to agree with you there, but so that's gonna be so far. Like I said, it's a best of 3, so they shouldn't be completely down here. But Excelsior is going to be leading 1-0, and this means that Asians with Attitude has the choice of either picking the map or going first pick. How do you feel like is the right decision in this case?
I think that is one of those that comes down to the team. If they have a map that they perform really, really well on, you may see them pick that. Or you may see them try to kind of throw a monkey wrench in the synergy that Excelsior has going right now, picking up Jaina, picking up Lunara maybe.
Yeah, personally, I think I like to do the map, but at the same time, it's so weird because if you're, if you really like that map, but you have no idea if the other team has really a specialty pick for that map as well, if they have plans for it. So first pick is just is also just a really good thing to do as well. So I'm kind of torn between the two, honestly. And it looks like we're in a lobby right now. We're just waiting for the draft to go out. Were you actually invited first this time?
Yes.
Gosh, no love tonight.
I got the invite. I got the friend request.
Wow.
Sometimes I think I'm really cool because I have all these friends.
Yeah, right. And it's just people
but
who are like,
it's really just people from
like,
this.
gosh, these casters. We have to pity them again.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
We're not even rank 1.
Yeah, we're so pathetic. We tried. You did try to carry me.
Hey, we're getting there. We're getting there. Take time. All right, and we do actually have the draft up, and I'm about to pull it up for you guys really soon. I hope that, I don't know, let me see. I have to make sure that's not the Observer link.
Yeah, no, that works.
Okay.
I think it's okay if it's Observer. The jokes coming from these two teams.
Yeah, you just have no idea.
It's
just all the time. These just, I don't even know. Like, I'm kind of tilted by these jokes right now. I can't even think about anything. So yeah, we are going to go to the draft right now, and the map has been picked, and it is Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Interesting. So maybe a good map. ADWA doing good on that map earlier today, so that may have something to do with it.
Yeah, for sure. And Excelsior, though, making sure that they get the first ban here, and they're going to ban out Zagara. And AWA put in an interesting position here because they're like, wait, we've been playing Li Ming all night, but do we ban her here? Is Excelsior going to play Li Ming if we don't ban her? And it looks like they're going to ban out Rhaegar.
So right. Oh, so now we're gonna see. We're probably gonna see a Li Ming here now, right?
Yeah, we're seeing a Li Ming immediately right now. AWA's eyes got really big because they've been playing Li Ming all night, and I'm really actually excited this happened because now we get to see, the fans right now, the viewers get to see a treat because we know how good AWA has been with Li Ming, but we know how good Excelsior has been with Jaina and, and Lunara. So
yeah,
we're gonna see like the best of the best.
Guns.
Yeah, they're bringing out what they think they can do the best here, and it's going to definitely lead to something really huge. But Excelsior may be thinking about not taking Lunara here, or at least taking their time and discussing exactly what they want to do to counter the Li Ming. Interesting things that we haven't seen very much Tyrael. We haven't seen much Zeratul as well. So it'd be interesting to see those heroes be drafted here, but I'm not sure if Excelsior, if they specialize in those type of heroes, or if they have a player that's really confident in their Zeratul or Tyrael play.
Right. Do you think we're going to see another Greymane tonight? We could see on Excelsior's side, I think.
Yeah, I can definitely see that happening. Greymane definitely does really, really well against Li Ming, able to lock her down, even with her teleport, as long as he times everything right, just being able to burst her, because she has such low HP. We do see Mirrodin picked up quite early here, so I think they have a strategy, and they weren't afraid to go double tank last game. So
yeah, and I think we could see it again, especially with this Kael'thas pick. They maybe want another front line in front of those two mages. This map is really small. People can get places really quickly, and you can leave a tank in lane. We may see Leoric, for example, somebody who can handle their own lane. It also gives Mirrodin the option to go maybe like a Thunderclap spec, a little something that's more along the damage lines. We'll see.
Yeah, for sure. But like I said, I think they're gonna do it, and I think they're gonna ban out the Diablo here. Which is interesting because I guess they thought that, if they went double mage, then AWA is going to counter by going double warrior as well. But this does leave, we have two supports banned, and we have Zagara and Diablo banned. So what exactly is AWA going to go here for damage? I wouldn't be surprised to see perhaps a Raynor, a Thrall. They've been really good with Thrall as well. So, but Uther coming out first.
And there is your Thrall, maybe it looks like. I think Uther's a good choice. I think they want to get the support off the board, the one that they want to play, and then we may see Brightwing, we may see Morales on the other side. But I think that stun, they want that stun. They want a little bit more CC.
Yeah, I know, and they do pick up the Thrall here, which is just obviously a really solid choice because Thrall, while being really good at eliminating squishy players, also starts doing a lot of damage, especially when he gets Giant Killer against Muradin. And Excelsior picking up the Malfurion, which is a really interesting choice. I guess we just haven't really seen a lot of Morales tonight, so maybe she's just kind of fallen out of favor with a lot of the teams on the scene. But,
Maybe.
Malfurion can also give a lot of mana to whoever he's laning with, whether it be Jaina or Kael'thas, or maybe even both of them if he's rotating.
That's definitely true. Feeding mana to those mages may come in handy.
The Asmodan. I did not see that coming.
Right, I didn't see it coming, but it makes sense. It's a great Asmodan map. He can build stacks very quickly on this map, and that lane push they may be wanting to just keep him by himself, have the team, Malfurion, Kael'thas, Muradin, and Jaina, kind of doing their own thing, rotating to two lanes, and then leaving Asmodan by himself to babysit his own lane. And then those dunks. The dunks may come in really handy with Kael'thas and Jaina. Just like they may just need that little bit if somebody runs away, and dunk will do it.
Well, what you'll see a lot with Li Ming's, obviously the AWA's Li Ming is very, very skilled. But what you'll see with Li Ming's is they'll stay in the back and wait for their opportunity to blink in and cast all their spells. Well, I do see how they can use Asmodan here in this comp to definitely use the power of the dunks to really start chunking the Li Ming so she can't really ever get into a really comfortable position to engage. But, it's going to require really smart Asmodan play because he's got to predict whenever she's going to blink or wait until she uses the blink off cooldown and still be able to hit that dunk.
Right. But a lot of poke on Excelsior's side.
Yeah, and they're really banking on Li Ming and Thrall damage here because they do go with the Tassadar as their last pick, which, he's a really solid laner. You can stick him down bottom lane, and he can clear very easily, and he definitely helps out Uther, who does have high cooldowns on his heals.
Mm-hmm. So shields, if you can build those shields and you get late game and there's shields on the whole team, it's a huge damage mitigator. Not to mention Force Wall and his ability to just, disengage by himself, get out of a lot of sticky situations. And let's see, I think the game is probably going to start soon.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah, it's definitely going to be starting soon. We're waiting to get everybody in the lobby here just to finish it up. But I'm going to ask you once again, I'm not going to put that on us too much because I think both of these teams are really great. Who do you think's going to win? Who do you think drafted the better here, and what do you think about that Asmodan pick? Because I'm really excited about that Asmodan pick, and I'm looking on chat right now, and people are really excited about the Asmodan pick. So I'm excited too because I haven't seen Asmodan in a tournament in quite a long time.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't get picked all that often anymore, but he's not a bad hero by any means. I think that. Especially like you're saying, if they're able to kind of get that preemptive damage on Li Ming, it could change the way the team fights go. If getting dunked, at the beginning of the engagement puts you at, half health, a little bit over half health, late game especially. So it is going to make Li Ming a little bit more hesitant. She's not going to be able to use that. She's going to have to use that teleport more defensively as a disengage, instead of, using it to get in and do that damage because she won't be able to get out, and she won't have the health necessarily to get out if she is chunked before she even goes in.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be really interesting. AWA has the sustain here, but Kael'thas and Jaina are just going to be able to really do a ton of damage, and I can see why they picked Muradin for this comp, because what they're going to try to do definitely on the rotations in the early game is have that Muradin lead with a stun into the Kael'thas, gravity lapse, Jaina damage there, and then a Malfurion root as well. Yeah, you don't want to run into that.
I think I need to leave this party.
Yeah, I think we need to leave this lobby as well. Apparently, I've been promoted to host.
Oh no, I left. Invite me again. Can you invite me again?
No, I mean, I've been, like we're all leaving, don't worry.
Okay. There we go. I was like, wait a minute. I'm scared.
Did you get reinvited?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I will see if I can let you in.
Sorry, guys. Sometimes there's some technical
Panic
difficulties.
crisis
So
averted, though.
people had to restart their client. So you know, stuff happens. Disqualified, all that good jazz.
I panicked. I'm not gonna lie.
But you know exactly how. I'm not sure exactly how they countered the Asmodean though. You know, you don't want to commit too much to him at the same time because you don't want to lose the rotations and you don't want to, you know, have everybody just focus on the Asmodean and then you lose all the turn-ins. But at the same time, if you let him get stacks, then he's going to be really hard to deal with in the later game.
Right, I think that it's going to be, I think that we're going to see that Tassadar kind of go against the Asmodean a little bit. I think that's going to be their solution. It makes the most sense. Someone that can kind of hold their own against him in lane, but it's also not so much that they're losing from the team fight. And Task can get it around pretty quickly, too. So.
Yeah. But right now we're just waiting, guys. Everybody's readied up and ready to go, and we're just about to, after some more and more terrible jokes going on in this chat in the lobby.
Yeah, Ben with the jokes. The puns all night.
Yeah, Ben the Magic J, guys. If you guys have a small party, maybe, that you want to have a comedian, you should contact this guy. He'll make sure to brighten your day up. I'm only half being sarcastic here.
Alright, so we're going into game 2 here. It looks like it's about to start any second.
Yep, just waiting for everybody to hit the big ready button. It's almost like the most anticipating part of the match is when we're in this lobby. Just come on. Let's get it over with. Let's do this. I'm ready to see another game of Heroes of the Storm. So go ahead and we announce who we got on the left there.
Alright, so we have FZ Ignition on Tassadar, Fat Meat on Johanna, Saber on Li Ming, Lucky Swan on Thrall, and Half and Half on Uther.
Okay, and I'm just about to announce the other teams as well. We have on the other side Ben the Magic J on Muradin, Ruby's on Kel'Thas, Cruel Alloy on Malfurion, Mr. Frigger on Asmodean, and Serari on Jaina. So as we said before, this is going to be a best of 3, and we have, it is right now 1 game for Excelsior to 0 games for Asians with Attitude, but man, that can change in an instant here, and I'm really excited for this match. How about you, May?
I am too. It's going to be a good game, I think.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be a good game anymore because Ben the Magic J is about to tell
One
another
last
joke.
All right, here it goes. What do dwarfs and midgets have in common? Very little.
Thank you for that, Ben. Somewhere out there, like, for every bad pun that you do, a new star is born.
How, you know, and how do you think his team takes? Do you think that he's like this all the time? Are they just so over?
Probably.
So over the jokes?
All right, so we're going to do that. We're going to do, for level 1, we have Conjurer's Pursuit, Knight Takes Pawn, Power Hungry, which is interesting talent. I guess with all the rotations, they can get a little bit more value out of those things. Rolling Thunder and Conjurer's Pursuit also on Uther.
And on the other side, we're going to see Reverberation, Mana Addict, Harmony, Taste for Blood, and Conjurers on Jaina.
And we do see Asians with Attitude doing that a little bit of creep blocking here to make sure that they can get the advantage here on not being too far overextended. You don't see that very much, but you know, a lot of the teams are doing it nowadays. But just, you know, the standard rotations are going to be happening between the middle and top, while it looks like it's going to send Kel'Thas bottom versus Thrall.
It's an interesting choice there. Fat Meat going in, try to get that Condemn off and get those minions cleared. A lot of this rotating here, though, because everybody wants those globes for Conjurers. We see Cruel's gets that in Tangling Roots out, but not able to capitalize on it at all.
Yeah, once again, you know, this map, not the most exciting at the very early game, though it can turn to, especially if people get a little bit out of position, almost like Malfurion did there, but Cruel Alloy able to get out there relatively easy. While Asmodean just rotating, making sure he's trying to get as many stacks as he possibly can. And we do have Rubies here, just kind of waiting with Lucky Swan, you know, just trading amongst each other.
Yeah, but almost dead even. Ben getting that stun right, getting stunned right there. Great stun by half and half to finish off Ben.
Yeah, you gotta always watch that because that orb, it doesn't matter if you're a tank, it hurts. And they just followed up the damage with those magic missiles as well, and he fell pretty easily here. So we do have a slight EXP lead going on here, but you have to see that I think Excelsior is just kind of fighting for the late game here. They want to try to not get killed as much as possible, but hopefully that Asmodean will get big enough. And we're going to see a lot of trouble here with Cruel Alloy, who looks like he's just trying to make as much space as possible for his team, but he is going to go down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do think that Excelsior is a little bit more late game. I mean, Kel'Thas is strong, but much stronger later on.
Yeah, Jaina is like their really strong early game hero along with Muradin, but their comp is just only going to keep getting stronger. Which, you know, Thrall on the other hand is really strong early game. Li Ming is just strong all the time, as we've stated. But we're going to see.
Swan able to get Ruby right there and get the kill in.
Wow, I didn't expect that to happen, but Kel'Thas does go down to Thrall right there, which is a big win for Asians with Attitude. And it's going to be interesting because, like we said, we gave a fact at the beginning when we started this set between these two teams is that Asians with Attitude with Li Ming, and just Li Ming in general in this tournament, has gone undefeated. So they're going to have to try to break the trend here.
Right, and Saber's so good on Li Ming, so able to carry the team to game 3, we will have to see.
Yeah, Saber is an exceptional player here, and he's, wow, just got so much. The Johanna combo with Li Ming.
Huge right there.
Yeah, Cruel Alloy just kind of trying to fall back and lick his wounds here, saying, why did we not ban Li Ming?
Level 4 talents did get picked, so we're going to see Leeching Plasma, Laws of Hope, Dominance, Ride the Lightning, and Protective Shield.
And on the other side, we're going to see Thunderburn go on Muradin, Gathering Power, Elun's Grace, Army of Hell, and Snowstorm. So interesting pick for Kel'Thas to go the Gathering Power, so going for super type late game comp now.
Mm-hmm.
He got his death out of the way early, hopefully, so he doesn't have to lose those stacks again later.
Yeah, and Cruel Alloy also going with a really offensive Malfurion. So we see Harmony, so the able to do more Moonfires and not worry about the mana so much, and then also the range for Regrowth Moonfire and Roots. Probably hoping to make something happen with Roots, I would guess. That usually seems to be the really benefit of that increased range.
Yeah, and they did get quite a bit of work out of this. They got the towers bottom, the towers mid, and they got the tower. They did not get the towers top, but still just maintaining almost a full level lead now and getting those level 7 talents.
Mm-hmm. And we see Embrace, Battle Momentum, Seeker, Follow Through, and Cleanse for that Uther. Which, you know, you need that cleanse against Malfurion. They can hit so many people with that Roots that being able to get at least one person out is could really be important.
Yeah, and it's definitely really important here, but we're going to have to start seeing that Asmodean, especially at level 10. His Q is going to have to start making a difference here because it's going to be needed for sure if they want to carry the late game here.
Mm-hmm. So Lucky, I think, pushing a little bit farther here than Ruby is able to.
Yeah, definitely, like, because Kel'Thas, you know, as strong as he is as a hero right there, Thrall is just so good at poking and harassing with the Chain Lightning, and if he gets the occasional stun, that could be just a kill instantly, because he's so strong right now in this meta.
That huge contempt, and Roots go down, catches almost everybody, but it doesn't matter. Alloy's going to go down as well to that, just the Li Ming.
Saber just immediately just capitalizing on that, getting that one kill, and Malfurion, I guess, just getting caught out there and realizing that the cooldown's reset instead of backing up, maybe trying to put out a little too much heals, also gets taken out. Saber just proving why just is an amazing Li Ming player.
And let's see on the other side, so we have, it's 2 levels right now. Excelsior a little bit behind. Hopefully they can get 10 close to after AWA gets it. Yeah,
we do have the talents on the side of Excelsior. We have Battle Momentum, Vision Bomb, Enduring Growth, Infernal Globe, and Frostbitten. So They do have the level 7 talent, so they probably want to fight as much as they can right here. But Jaina's really in trouble here. Sorari having to back off as much as possible. The Chain Lightning is going to go out, but the Orb from Saber takes out Jaina.
And that will be enough to give them 10 as well. We see Excelsior turning in bottom here. Able to sneak that turn in. And actually, I was worried there about Ignition a little bit that he wasn't going to get away there. But the Force Wall goes up. Frigger has to walk all the way around it.
Wow, the Great Sundering comes out to get away the Meriden, but of course he does have Door Toss. Mr. Frigger's going to be really careful here trying to retreat, but it does look like the rest of the team is going to get away right here.
Yeah, surprisingly, nothing happened with that little engagement right there. It looked like Ben was going to go down, and then also that Force Wall really splitting the team and giving everybody enough time to get away.
Yeah, and Excelsior right now really on the back foot, but they do have Web Weavers, and if they can be really careful and try to get just a little bit of structures out of this possibly, they can maybe make something happen, but they have to be really, really careful not having ultimates.
Right, and they should be able to get it here. I think that there's enough on the board that they should be able to get 10 pretty quickly before the next team fight.
Yeah, it looks like the positioning
We'll see,
here,
though.
maybe not showing fully, but yeah, it looks like they're going to show fully here because they just want these towers. They want to get to level 10 as fast as possible. You know, not a single fort has gone down yet, so...
AWA coming down right now. We'll see if Excelsior is able to disengage completely and not get caught. Looks like they are.
Yeah, they're just still slightly less than 10 here, but we do see Asmodean just making sure he's getting the most out of his stacks here in the lane.
They're about to hit 10, which is good. Alright, so let's see what everyone picks for the level 10 talent. We're going to see Blackpool on Asmodean, Tranquility for Mouth, Phoenix on Kilthos, Avatar, and Water Elemental.
And in response here, we do see that Asians with Attitude do get the turn in. But, you know, it's really good here for Excelsior because they're able to, you know, fight this at least at the same talent tier.
Mm-hmm. This is, I mean, best case scenario for them is that they're on the same talent tier. It's going to be kind of hard. I don't think that AWA is going to be able to get 13 before this.
Yeah, meanwhile, the Sundering goes out, the Blessed Shield goes out with the Force Wall. Huge lead goes out with the Disintegrate going out as well. The Sundering hitting 3 people, just amazing use of ultimates, and Kael'thas is probably going to go down here. No, trying to
so
go
close,
as far.
look, he's going to chase, but he's not. Ben's taking a lot of damage. Force Wall goes out. Ben has to jump over that. But yeah, huge Force Wall there. The Disintegrate just doing tons of damage. Able to catch Jaina.
Yeah, you know, and obviously, you know, that was a really big win for Asians with Attitude there, but if you want to know how good Excelsior is and know that this isn't just a huge stomp right now, they only lost 1 person out of that. It really looked like they were going to lose like 3 or 4, so a bad situation, but at least it could have been a lot worse. And we do have 13 talents now going out on the side of Asians with Attitude. We have Prescience going down, Burning Rage, Illusionist, once again, just the same build that he's always going on, Li Ming. Grace of Air, and Uther hasn't picked it up, but it's going to be Spell Shield. So yeah, there you go, Li Ming. You've inspired the Uther to take that Spell Shield because you scary.
Fat Meat able to get some good positioning. The stun goes out on Cruel. The Entangling Roots goes down. It's going to catch everybody with the Disintegrate from afar. It doesn't matter. Ruby's going to go down as well. Disintegrate back up. And it looks like they are going to get this gate, maybe.
Yeah, it does really look like they're going to get this gate here. They have to watch out that they're taking a lot of damage here, but they do have a lot to sustain, and Li Ming in general, just you have to be really careful because Li Ming can immediately blow up. Even Meriden right here if he gets a little too overextended.
Yeah, Frigger doing his job putting out that damage in the back line so that AWA can't stay as long as maybe they wanted to because everybody was low. But yeah, huge plays there with those Force Walls and that Disintegrate.
Yeah, AWA here, it looks like they do have enough gems to turn in, so they probably are going to do that while they put some pressure on with this camp.
And Aloe just tried to get away. He put down their roots for himself and actually got 3 people on it, so AWA wasn't able to engage as much as, like I said, as they wanted to. They had to stop right there. But it doesn't matter. That Disintegrate is so strong and can hit people from so far that the damage just is done.
Yeah, and it's really just, its key aspect is, you know, you can sit there and cast Disintegrate on a full health hero or whatever, it's not going to do that much, but it's the fact that, you know, you use it to finish somebody and then it's just right back off a cooldown again.
Yeah. And especially if you go the slow late game, which we may see,
Oh yeah,
it's harder for people to get out of that.
Saber's taking that every single time this game, and that is just able to just do so much work because now you can't escape the laser, and the rest of your team can just follow up. You know, that alone is bad, but the rest of your team can just follow up with all their abilities.
Swan grabbing this small camp, hoping that it pushes with the spider a little bit. We see the rest of the team up top hoping to take down this top fort.
Yeah, and it's they're going to be pushing this hard, and they're going to try to get back in the advantage because they're still not on the same... Excelsior is still not in the same talent tier, though. They have to make sure they can soak before they can fight this. Meanwhile, the flank's going out here. The force wall stopping this retreat from going down. Kel'Thas going down as well. And Siri having to run away here. Sorari.
Huge force wall by Ignition. Just right across the gate. Kel'Thas can't get through, and the Disintegrate just finishing him off.
Yeah, this just letting Li Ming and everybody else do their crazy amounts of damage with those force walls. It's just not... They're not having a really good time right now. And those W's right now, they have to be very careful because if one of them hits, it could just be another wipe here.
Anyway, having to back off after Frigger getting some damage in. Looks like they're gonna try and maybe get this top. The spider's almost dead, but just, yeah, probably just the gate.
Now we'll have to see here because they're not probably gonna get any keeps off of this. And right now they hit level 13, and Kel'Thas is getting chain bombed. So this could be the time right now where they can maybe turn things around, but they really have to be really good about choosing their engagements and making sure that they can get some sort of pressure on that backline of Agents with Attitude.
You know, really close, Excelsior really close to a turn in here. They only have to probably clear just clear a little bit, and they can kind of push back these lanes a little bit.
Yeah, for sure, and but Excelsior does have enough to turn in. They just have to figure out a way what they can. The force wall
out.
Yeah, going out again, and Sundering going out, the slow going out from Jaina. It just makes it even easier to hit her skill shots. And Cruel Alloy and Sorari are trying to retreat as fast as possible, but the force wall does go out, and it's going to knock out Malfurion, which is going to be able to chain and get maybe Sorari, but no, Ben the Magic J doing his best to peel, so there's not that many losses, but Jaina is going to go down.
Yeah, that Disintegrate just picking up Jaina in the back. Huge force walls. Ignition really making the plays here. The Guard Relapse goes off, the Condemned goes out. They're going to be able to get away. Kel'Thas having to walk around the wall, and it's not going to be enough to kill him.
Oh my goodness, he survives by just the skin of his teeth. They did get the Li Ming, but at what price?
So we see, AWA hitting 16. The talents are going to be Dimensional Warp, Holy Renewal, Mirror Ball, Tempest Fury, and Benediction.
Yeah, going for that Tempest Fury, you know. It looked like he was going for a full Lightning build here by taking the first two talents. But no, definitely getting the most out of his money here by going for the Grace of Air and the Tempest Fury.
Again, the Mirror Ball at 16, which we've seen Saber get a lot, so there's 2 additional magic missiles just doing more damage. Plus, a little bit more of an opportunity to hit that bonus with Seeker, too. Because you only need to hit 3, it doesn't matter what 3 you hit with.
Yeah, for sure, and it's definitely been, you know, Saber's game right now. Of course, the FZ Ignition right now, you know, won't get a lot of the credit from a lot of people who are just watching because they're like, you know, they like to see all the damage numbers, but those force walls have been absolutely on point this game.
Very clutch. Yeah, and you're seeing Saber basically engage Ciari and Cruel Alloy by himself. He's really chasing the 2 of them off, and the rest of the team is just kind of distracting Murden, making sure that there's enough time for the damage to go out.
Yeah, and now it looks like they need it, like I said, Excelsior has to somehow get a turn in here. They have to get to level 16 first, though, because they have the gems to do it, and Ben the Magic J right here trying to, but Agents with Attitude just doing a really, really great job of zoning. And that Johanna is just going as far in as she possibly can. Does throw the Blessed Shield, does go on Malfurion, but Cruel Alloy trying to escape.
Yeah, and the Unstoppable going off, so Meat isn't getting caught in that. Sundering goes off, splits Malfurion a little bit, and there goes the wall. Alloy caught on the wrong side, having to pop Tranquility. But Meat taking so much damage, also Ignition having to back out.
Yeah, that chain bomb doing
the stun goes out.
A lot of work right now. And Siri right now looks like she's going to be able to catch this Johanna, but Unstoppable is popped here. Tassar is going to have to use Prescience here to pop up. The W, though, from Arcane Orb goes and hits. Tassar going down.
Dunk. the dunk. With lots of points too. Is Meat able to make it? No, he's gonna get caught in the entangling. Disintegrate goes out, but isn't able to get enemy. Half and half trying to make something happen on Rubies.
And they're going to be very careful because Saber is going around here for the flank here, and if she's able to get on Rubies, it's going to be GG, and maybe even
it's going to be Ben.
Whew. Well, Ben almost went down as well.
Yeah, he did. Saber though trying to turn that with the flank, but yeah, they just chased them all the way back, and Tassadar going down really hurt them because they just didn't have that extra support that they needed.
And really, the problem right here with late game comps on this map is that, you know, even if you go and you get like a favorable trade, you have to, the middle of the map here, these 2 points, like those are the big control points of this map. So you have to fall back when you have less buildings to clear your wave, so you can't take advantage of those, you know, those points as much as you'd want to.
And how did Alloy stay alive during that? He got caught on that wrong side of that wall, and you don't really think Tranquility is going to be enough to save you when you're the only target, because it is that AOE heal, but it seemingly was enough.
Yeah, for sure, and he just, you know, Malfurion has a lot more healing than people give him credit for right now, but especially since they buffed the initial amount on his Q, so that combined with Tranquility was able to let him escape. But now, you know, they finally, Excelsior has to be relieved that they got this turn in, and they're just going to have to try to push as hard as they can and fight if the opportunity presents itself, because they are on the same talent tier finally. Meanwhile, Lucky Swan looking for the engagement here. He does go on the Sundering. Does pull in here the Condemn, and immediately Jaina's going to go down, and the Disintegrate's going off on Malfurion here, but it does look like maybe perhaps he'll go away, but FC Ignition going forward for these force walls and try to be really aggressive here.
But, yeah, Alloy being able to peel a little bit with that entangling roots. Lucky just chasing, though. Doesn't want to give up. Ben kind of caught on the wrong side. He may get split from his team here and not able to get out.
Ooh, takes a lot of damage, but able to jump away here. They have to be very careful that these slows are going out on these heroes, and if he can get a good chain bomb here, it'd be great, but it's, I don't know. He kind of hung out a little bit on the back there during that team fight, and I didn't really see him engage and use his chain bomb off a cooldown as much as I would like to see him, but regardless, they did have the web weavers, you know, pushing in both the top and bottom lane. Right.
So now AWA has to go and stop that. I didn't really get that much from it, but having to just go back still and kind of regroup and try to make something happen. I think they'll probably grab this near camp.
Yeah, they do, and they actually have enough for a turn-in right here. So if they are really quick about this, and you know, Asians with Attitude doesn't see it, this could be a really big swing for them. Yep, and they are going to turn in right here.
Yeah. A lot of points there. Picked up a lot from Tassadar.
They do not have Storm talents, though, and that is a big deal here. They can't be as aggressive as they want to with this push with Storm talents before there's an engagement, because that's how this game has gone. We have Storm Shield, Indestructible, Temporal Flux, that slow doing so much work, Bolt of the Storm, and Redemption, and we have a pause.
Ah!
Oh my goodness. Just, you know, it happens sometimes, but at the same time, this is, we're ready to finish this match. We're ready to see what's going to happen and possibly push this to a game 3, but we have to understand here.
Life happens.
Life happens.
Yeah, when everyone's at their own house, you never know when something's going to happen, and everybody usually is pretty understanding of that fact. But we do see, I guess we can take some time to talk about the spiders are up. We do see redemption from Uther, so able to come back up after he does die. Bolt of the Storm from Thrall, maybe a little bit. We haven't seen him take that much damage or go down that often, so more of an offensive Bolt of the Storm maybe. And let's see. But Storm Shield is going to come in really handy against Chain Bomb. Storm Shield's a really, really great counter to Chain Bomb. It mitigates most of the damage from it.
Yep, for sure, and it's looking like maybe that they're coming back, and we are ready to go. So we are about to start up in 3, 2, 1, and we're going to commence the push, guys. Sorry about that delay, but we're going to get to the exciting conclusion of this match and see if perhaps Excelsior can make a run at this and make this a competitive ending. Make it, and you know, it's up to them. You know, obviously they have another game to fall back if they lose this, but it does look like we have another DC. So,
oh yeah, maybe that's That might be what they thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
I would guess. And then they thought it was impending, and then it didn't. So, I mean, what does Excelsior have to do? Can they end it right here? If they win the team fight, it's late game enough that would be it, right? And they do have spiders in their favor, but that's depending on a lot. It means that they're going to be fighting, on keep maybe, taking some tower damage, and so as long as AWA kind of plays safe, they can probably stop this push from being the last push.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is definitely not the last push. The best that they can hope for on the side of Excel is they need to get a keep here. If they could get a keep here, that would be huge because that'd be the first keep of the game, and that can completely change it around. But I think that AWA is not going to care about playing it safe for the most part. They're going to try to see if they can get a really good combo from maybe a good force wall or a good sundering into a condemned and an arcane orb and to disintegrate, because they have storm talents, and as long as you're not fighting in front of the web weavers, if you can get behind them and do a really good flank, you can do a lot of damage, especially with their comp.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. I wonder if it's... Oh, they want jokes.
Why should you never break up with the goalie? He's a keeper.
I don't even know where he comes up with those.
I don't know. He's probably got like a website pulled up right now, just like reading them
joke
off.
Book.
It's like
a
just
joke book.
Yep.
The bark enchant.
Yeah.
No Rhaegar in this game though, which is we've seen him so much tonight. It's nice to see the no Rhaegar and Malfurion the last two games. All right, let's see.
Do you know that 4/3 of people don't understand fractions? Oh, I'm delirious. These pauses are doing it to me.
Oh, wow. What is Spider-Man's least favorite food?
Uncle Ben's rice.
Too soon. Too soon, Ben the Magic J. So who are we waiting for?
I can't remember exactly who did it.
I thought it was Ben, but I guess it's not.
No, it's not Ben. It's Fat Meat.
Oh, it's Fat Meat. Wrong tank. I knew it was a tank, I guess. Alright. Kale. And I guess, alright, is this the last joke? It's a blonde joke, though. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll stop. Alright, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. The game's back on.
Oh, thank goodness. Alright, we're back into the game. I was too busy reading Twitch chat's reaction to the joke, so... We are back, and Fat Meat is back in the game, and he is making sure that he's taking care of this first web weaver here. And you can see how they go down so fast here, especially that one mid.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, the best they could have hoped for was maybe getting a key, but it doesn't even look like they're going to get that.
They're not going to... It doesn't look like they're going to get anything.
Yeah, they didn't even get 20. And
they're
now...
bait the balls?
I don't know. They can't afford to bait it.
I saw Ben go in there, and I was like, oh, what is going to happen here? Is like something's going to happen, but no. And see, they're checking because they've been off the map for a long time. They're worried that they're in there. It was definitely the dangerous choice for sure.
Yeah, they really need to soak 20 right now, and they have to somehow poke here. I know they don't want to hard engage, and they're worried about 20, but if they get a turn in here, it's going to be really hard to defend against it, and it does look like they're just going to get the turn in here.
They're not going to get there in time.
Oh no, the dunk comes out to prevent. No, it doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't.
Not
it
quite.
caught them on the near side, but they had already all turned in. So AWA trying to make things happen. They are up on level and talents.
And man, those dunks are starting to hurt now.
Yeah, they are. You see everyone at half pot. Saber low. Like we were saying, he won't be able to, jump in and make those plays because he is too low.
Yeah, but they're all at full mana right now. They do have the healers, the double healer, so it's able to just make that feel like a little pinprick just heal up again. So they have to be very careful here because that Thrall has been really aggressive this game, and he's going to be looking for hitting a Sundering as many people as he can and maybe try to displace people on this side because they want to look for the game-winning push here. They don't want this game to go on any longer. They want to force this out and make a Game 3 have to go down.
So shields on everybody, Disintegrate goes off, the Sundering goes out, Rule having to pop Tranquility and Phoenix Tips dropped as well. We see Divine Shield going out on Thrall, Swan trying to make something happen. But Frigger doing the damage, forcing him
Yeah,
back.
the Chain Bomb doing so much, and Lucky Swan having to run away. But knowing that Saber's going to have to be very careful as well as Lucky Swan because we have an Asmodan here who has a buff Q, and he is going to cast it onto them. But Saber gets shielded and doesn't take very much damage at all. This double healer is really negating this.
Oh, wow.
Jaina being so aggressive.
Fat Meat also going down there. Oh, he is going to go down. Half going down as well. Ignition getting the bomb on him is going to have to go invulnerable to get away. Saber trying to help disengage a little bit. Yeah, but we saw the gravity laps go out on Jaina there and giving just the rest of the team enough time.
Yes.
And Uther going down and then getting Redemption. He'll come back up again though because Redemption isn't off.
To be very careful here. I know they want to get a keep here, and they want to get the first keep of the game, but actually bottom keep looks like it's going to go down for the side of on Excelsior's side. But they're not even going to be able to get the top keep here, so they try to do it as much as possible. But now it looks like they're going to be able to turn this fight maybe with Saber, but Saber is running low on mana, the Force Wall, keeping out Cruel Alloy, and Sorari trying to do as much damage to Lucky Swan, who is probably going to go down.
Yeah, they tried to get on Frigger, who was up there in the corner, but they went too far and they weren't able to get up, and Swan just took a lot of damage because, you know, the rest of Excelsior was up, and it was a 3v4.
Saber being so aggressive this game. Has to be very careful here. You're only one person, my friend.
But yeah, so we saw there the Frigger doing a lot of damage before the engage, and then also with his laser beam of doom, taking down Lucky Swan, and Lucky Swan not being able, once he engaged, he had Divine Shield when he went in at first, but as soon as it wore off, he just took so much damage, and it really forced the whole team to disengage. They just didn't have enough health to continue that fight.
Yeah, but Thrall is down for 20 more seconds, so this is a really big chance here. They do realize that they can't just keep staying behind here, because even when they're winning this trades, they're getting so low that they can't push, so they really need this boss, and they realize that they're not showing on the map. So they're going to just take it here, but, you know, this could be trouble if they don't get it fast enough, because Li Ming can do a ton of damage here. It does look like they are doing the rotate up top. We'll have to see what happens here. I think Tastar's probably going to pop his Oracle. I don't think so. I think they're going to make it on time because they do get it.
No, but they could get some kills on Tranquility has to be used. Oh, but the Force Well's going out, and Johanna getting caught on the wrong side of it. But in the Divine Shield having to be used, Roots gets down and gets her. She's trying to get away. The shields are going off as well. Another shield goes off on her. Just Ignition trying to save Fat Meat.
Yeah, Ben the Magic J having to be really careful here. Saber trying for the flank here, perhaps. Maybe being the one time they're out of position. The blink from Sorari goes out into the actual Blizzard and blows her up.
That's huge. It's going to be really hard now for AWA to kind of defend against both of this boss and
oh my god, Lucky
Swan
Swan gets killed by the Tornado and the Dunk Modan. The dream is real. Asmodan Dunk goes down. This fort is going down. This boss is almost at full health, and it looks like they're going to try to push for the win here.
I mean, they have to. They should. They're down to 40 seconds until Li Ming is back up. They have time. They have boss to sit behind. Fat Meat is low. It's two supports and a tank.
Yes, and they're going to try to do as much damage as they possibly can here. But it doesn't matter right here. Johanna's going to go down. This boss is way too healthy. The core is going down to 60%, 50%, 40%, 20%. GG! Excelsior is the winners of this game and the winners of the match.
GG indeed.
Wow, congratulations to Excelsior. You are the winners of Season 3, Week 3 of the NexVerse, and what a way to win. I mean, we have to be as partial as we can as casters, but I have to admit, I thought that entire time that was AWA's game to lose.
I agree. Well, you know, we saw Saber on Li Ming. It's so strong. Their comp seemed really, really strong, but it just seemed like almost like they were too aggressive. Johanna taking a lot of damage every time she went in, just huge amounts of damage, and that Asmodan really paying off. Asmodan being able to just dunk and chip away while they poke, and then the chain bomb from Kel'Thas and the blizzard from Jaina too. It was so much damage that it was just a lot of damage.
Man, I'm just so hyped right now. That was the match that dreams were made of, even though it was a 2-0. It was such a good finals, and Saber, great job. You guys shouldn't feel bad at all. All these guys from AWA, you guys played a great game, and you know what? That was the first time Li Ming lost this entire tournament, and it was when it mattered the most.
Right, and as we were saying all night, just like the ranged poke is so strong tonight, and that team, the team with the most ranged poke, really was coming out on top, and we saw that right there with Excelsior. They definitely had the poke game strong.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. It was the poke. You look at that, the double mage meta. We had the return of the tank meta whenever this arose, but we have a double tank. We had Johanna here, and we had double healer to try to counter it, but range just seems to be just ruling the day.
Definitely. But GG to both teams, GG to everyone today. Congrats on Excelsior for the win. And we hope to see both these teams back next week.
Definitely, and I see all these people in here. You saw how awesome these matches were. So if you really enjoyed what you see, this tournament is every Sunday. So by far, if you have any questions about this, or if you're just the guy that's watching this by yourself and you don't have a team, remember that we do have free agent teams as well. So yeah, come by and sign up. We love to cast you guys. We love to see all the viewers on Twitch here. Really great. But we're gonna unfortunately have to sign out here. I would love to play some more Heroes of the Storm, and I probably will after I get off of this. But you want to tell them how they can get in contact with you if they want to, May?
Sure, you can get in contact with me if you want to do so at you follow me on Twitter. It's Twitter at MaybeBuzz.
Yeah, and if you want to follow me, you can just go to Twitter and you go to at Bleedies, and also my Twitch is also the same thing. It was really great hanging with you guys. Really a lot of great games. Thank you for joining us, May. Thank you for casting. You did a really great job tonight. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye. Thanks for watching.
They said I have trolled